Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. So today's video, I'm going to be talking about all of our finances, not all of them, but just how we manage our money and how I have like my system for like budgeting. Also, I wanted to quickly talk about the a mortgage relief ads post I've been seeing recently, and talk about the stimulus check for the virus that's supposed to be coming. So first off, I wanted to jump into the mortgage relief and just share my opinion on it. So before I do that, I just want to give a disclaimer that I am not a financial expert. Please do your own research and just keep in mind that my channel is just for me as a creative outlet to share my opinions, my thoughts with you guys and entertain you, and that's it. I'm not telling you what to do, and like I said, I'm not a professional. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. First off, the mortgage relief. I feel like it is, or most companies aren't sharing the whole story. They are basically giving people false hope, thinking that they're able to just skip a month of mortgage and that they're just paying their mortgage for them and that's it. That they don't have to pay that money back, or they don't have to worry about this month of mortgage or next month. And that is not the case. I know in certain situations it might be different, but like as a whole, at some point, these companies are going to expect their money back. They're going to either want it back in full or in payments, or possibly just add on to years onto your mortgage loan, or whatever it may be that you can afford it and you're not struggling. Please pay them, because at the end of all this, who knows what it's going to be like, So just try to think long term and what you want your future to look like. I just know for a fact, if we just decided to just skip our mortgage 2 months down the line, if they were like, oh, well, now you owe $3,000, y'all, that I would probably lose my home. It would then go into foreclosure because I can't come up with $3,000 in a month. So, I think there's just like a little false hope going on. So if you haven't done your research on it and you're thinking about calling and trying to skip a month or having your payment lowered, please do your research and read the fine print. Really know what they're going to ask for back. I even read a post saying that some companies are going to be adding interest, like extra interest, to those missed payments. Like I said, don't quote me on it. I was just reading my own articles, my own research, and that's kind of some things I've heard. Like I said, it's just hearsay. Don't take my word for it. Just do your research is what I'm trying to say. Next thing, the stimulus check. I really encourage you guys, especially if you have been living on a budget for a long time, to go ahead and either pay as many bills as you can in advance, put money aside for your mortgage for 2 months. Try to save that money for your bills only. Don't use it as a way to buy all new clothes or to buy new shoes. If you can't afford life right now and then you get this check, please don't look at it as free money to spend. Use it on your bills, because in the long run it will help you a ton. This is like your opportunity for budgeters out there, people who live paycheck to paycheck, to get ahead. And if your husband or your wife, a sibling, anyone, a loved one has lost their job right now, I am praying for you. I am very, very sorry. This is extremely difficult for everyone. And just a little now to kind of move into our finances and stuff. We actually got the news that my husband's job is kind of like running out of work right now during this situation. And he is considered an essential worker, so he's working now. So I'm trying not to be negative about anything and just have hope, because that's what you have to do, is just kind of push through. But it is extremely scary. I am nervous about the future, and if next week if they decide to shut down, is he going to get paid for staying home? Is it going to be just hourly? Because he gets paid more than that at this point. And my biggest thing when we moved into this house was to get our bills down lower than what our income is, and that is to help us on moments like these hard times. And no one in the world expected something like this to happen, I don't think. I mean, some people predicted it, and look, it's happening. But I just think to myself, like, I would have never guessed 10 years ago that a virus would wipe through the whole entire world and cause this much problems and financial strain within months. I mean, this is crazy. And I don't know. I've been nervous. I've been anxious, especially when you're talking about money and coming from someone who has struggled so bad and lived paycheck to paycheck to the point where we had like $3 in our pocket at the end of the week after paying bills and putting gas in the car. I used to choose between bread and milk. I mean, I've been to the register and didn't have enough money to pay for all of my groceries and had to scramble to put my stuff back. Postponing bills. Like, I have been there, and we still are not perfect. We've had our moments, our struggles, but we have done so well up until this point, and it makes me so anxious and nervous about this virus going around that we are going to end up backwards again and back into that situation, especially if my husband's jobs, like if his hours get cut or the jobs aren't there. What are we going to do? I mean, I am so blessed to have a YouTube channel and to make some money off YouTube, but it's just not enough to cover all of our bills. We rely on my husband's income solely. Like, we expect his income to come in because he is the sole provider for us. So it has been frightening. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into our budget and how I've been managing our money up until this point. I'm not going to talk about what I'm doing now forward, just because, to be honest with you guys, I don't really know what I'm going to do. If something does happen financially, we'll just do the best we can. Yes, baby? No, it's okay. Just leave it open, all right? Okay, love you. Good night. Okay, you don't have to, though. I need a drink. Okay. Sorry. My kids are currently trying to go to sleep. It's been a battle tonight. But they are in bed now. So I'm going to go ahead and move on. This is the planner that I use. It is the Blue Sky Planner. I really love this so much. Okay, so I could go on and on about all the things I love about it. I actually mentioned it in a vlog because I've never found a planner that I could actually stick to and use on a regular basis, and I finally found one. All right, and I'm just gonna kind of show you an open. Okay, so this is a new month. This is June. I'm showing you this one because I haven't wrote any amounts down yet. I didn't want to like share with you guys every single detail of our finances and like how much each individual bill is, just because it just creates debate, and it's just, honestly, it's really no one's business how much exact money we make and how much bills we have total. But I wanted to kind of just show you the layout and how I do this. So this is the month of June, like I said, and it has like the full calendar here, and then on the following page, this is how it looks. You have like big sections to write in, and I really love that because I'm able to like take notes, and I can write notes for my YouTube channel, which I have in previous months. Like I said, I'm not going to go back and show those because they do have financial information on there, and it's just, this is kind of personal to me. So like in this month, I wrote out every single bill that's due and what date it's due. So I have mortgage on the 1st, which that will already have been paid from the previous month. So I just kind of write that there because that's when it's actually due. But like for me personally, what I like to do is I make payments weekly. And that's because my husband gets paid weekly. If he got paid every 2 weeks, I would still do the same thing. As soon as he got paid, I would pay whatever possible bills I could pay, from, most important and in order from what's due first, if that makes sense. So like, for instance, if he gets paid on Friday, I'm going to go ahead and pay the electric, the security system, and possibly the phone. So I'm going to try to pay as many bills as I can with this check. And that just kind of helps keep me ahead. So I'm not like getting this check and only paying this. And then when this week comes along, now I miss security payments. Now I got to pay that. And then I get a late fee. I'm just kind of being a little dramatic, but I'm just kind of showing you guys what I mean. Hold that thought. Okay, sorry about that. I heard the kids getting up again and mommy had to go interfere. But anyway, so like I'll always try to make as many payments as I can each week with the paycheck. But you also got to remember that we do every week buy groceries. My husband has like work things that he buys if he stops by the store. Sometimes he'll grab like a drink, a coffee, just depending. Recently, we haven't been spending that much money on like stops here and there because of obviously everything going on. So it's nice, we've been able to save a little bit more money. But I have been spending more money on groceries because number one, everything's sold out that I would usually purchase. That's like, you know, the Great Value brand or, you know, the cheaper stuff seems to all be wiped out right now. And I feel like I've been spending so much more money on groceries. I mean, I feel like our grocery budget has went well over $200 extra from what we usually spend. We spend about $400 a month, and I would say this past month we spent about $600. So, I mean, yeah, 600, about 600, probably even a little bit more than that, to be honest with you. But I have been using this app called CHIT. That way they deliver the groceries to the door. It's just one less way of me possibly getting sick by going out and shopping. And then I just disinfect all the groceries while they're outside in the front porch, and when I bring them in, I wipe them all down as well. It's been a process, but that's besides the point. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, I just try to keep everything written out and visual, and I do that for every month. And then on this side here, I write down all of the bills in order on the times that they're due. So whatever comes first: mortgage, electric, security, the phone, music for my YouTube channel, health insurance, internet, car, water, and the car, water, and the car insurance. So that's all of our main bills. Now we do have like the little things like Netflix. I sometimes pay for Amazon Prime. Like I have a new trial with Amazon Prime right now. I'm trying to think of what else I pay for. There's like little things that I don't really account for in our budget, because if for some reason we couldn't afford one of these, all of those things would go. I wouldn't have those. I wouldn't pay for those. I know what day they come out. So if I look at my bank account and it's low or it's getting low and I'm like, okay, either we can save this $15 from Netflix, or we can go ahead and spend it and just watch a couple shows, or we can just plug in the DVD player and watch thousands of movies that we already bought. So I try to always think ahead and think like, if I can't afford something, I do not buy it. That is one of the biggest things with me. It's crazy because I am that girl that when I'm at the store, I have to literally think about buying something for like over an hour. You can ask my husband, if I go to the store and I'm shopping, you better just expect me to be gone for hours, because I am not going to spend full price on any clothes or any shoes. I'm going to search at every store first before I make the decision on what I buy. And that's just because I think mentally it just kind of goes way back. Even like when I was a kid, I used to do this. My mom would give each of like us kids a budget to shop for like school clothes, and my brothers would go to like these nice stores and they would get like Nikes and like nice shirts and stuff, which obviously they always look really nice. But I was the girl, I was like the one that wanted to go to like the thrift store because I could get way more for my money. And my mom used to kind of like, because I'm a girl, she would like shopping with me a lot more. So we would go like thrift store shopping and I would get way more for my money, and I had way more outfits. They might not have been as nice or as great quality as what my brothers had, but I had way more. So that's just, I've always been that way. And even when I struggled financially, when we lived in Georgia in our two like mobile homes we lived in, first like having a baby for the first time, staying home for the first time ever, I have always worked, you guys. I worked since I was 16 years old, and I worked very hard. I worked a lot of hours to make the money I made, and I was doing wonderful. And then when we had a baby, everything changed. You know, I decided to stay home, and I don't regret it at all. Yes, we went through a lot of struggles, and at one point I even went back to work because we were struggling so bad, but it was worth staying home. All the struggles were totally worth it. So if you are sitting there right now and you're a stay-at-home mom and you're questioning whether or not you should be home or go out and work and make an extra $100 a month after you pay childcare and stuff, just think about all the things that you do for your family. That is your job. That's your job to do those things. You are actually helping more than you know. And I know it gets tough financially, but it happens to everyone. It happens to people who are rich. A lot of people can put on a big show. and actually not be doing as great as they claim to be. So just keep that in mind. What you see on the internet is not always how it seems. A lot of people put a lot of things on credit, and technically they don't own anything. So just keep that in mind. And I've always, like I said, I've always been a person who will choose the cheaper route over the more expensive route, even if that means that my quality might not be as good. I do the same thing with my YouTube channel, not because I don't want to give you guys great quality. I just know that my budget just can't afford to go buy a fancy camera. I'd rather just use my cell phone. I get double use out of it. It's my phone and it's for recording. So little things like that really make a huge difference. Another thing, I'm really big on finding people's trash and making it treasures. Like, I will go yard selling. I will pick up stuff off the side of the road. There is no shame in my game. If I see something on the side of the road that looks decent and I'm like, oh, I can paint that, I will pick it up. I will build things. Like, I built our fireplace whenever I probably would have spent hundreds of dollars to get the look that I wanted, and I had a vision on it. The blanket ladder I built for like $10, like less than $10. It would have cost me $30 at the store. The shutters I built. There's little things that I do to save money, and they do add up in the long run. And I am able to live a good quality of life and be happy and have a nice home without spending all the money to do it. And you can do it too. It takes practice. And I'm telling you, if I can do these things, you guys can too. They're not as hard as they seem. You just have to try. So anyway, that's enough of me rambling about my life. But anyway, so as far as this planner goes, that's how I write out the bills. Another thing I wanted to talk about is I do get most of our bills are direct deposited. And that is only because I do get discounts on some things for having them done that way. You can actually save a lot of money if you do it, but just be very, very careful, because when you can't physically see your account, if you don't check your account every day, you'll be really quick to swipe your card and think there's money there, and it can get so low, and then when that bill comes out, then you've overdrafted, then you have to pay overdraft fees or late charges for the bill that you missed. So just make sure that you are checking your account daily, if not daily, every other day. You just need to watch your money very carefully, because those late charges add up, you guys. We used to pay late fees in Georgia about 4 years ago, like when we just had Amaya. Y'all, we were postponing bills left and right, and every bill just seemed like it was just getting higher and higher. It was a struggle, and I will never forget that, and that's why I'm so grateful to be where I'm at, and I'm also so scared to go back to that, and that's why I work so hard to make sure I'm on top of this now. And I was never this good at this before. It took a lot of practice. So like I said, I'm not perfect, but I do the best I can for our family. Okay, the next thing I wanted to show you guys is this like monthly budget printout. I actually sometimes will, okay, so here's the thing. I got my printer a month and a half ago, and I got super excited. So I got like print happy and I started like printing off like the most random things, and I was like, what can I print? And I'm just sitting there thinking, and I found these like monthly budget templates, and I printed off a couple of them. This one was free. You have to find free ones because there's a lot of them that are like copyrighted. This one was free, so I was able to actually print it. And it just has the monthly budget, total expected income. You write that up here. You write all of your bills right here, and then the dates, the amount due, when you paid it, and then like I like to write my confirmation numbers here, and I like to keep each of these in this little file. Expanding file, and in here I have all of our bills lined up monthly. So anytime a paper bill comes in, I put that in here, and when I pay it, I write the confirmation number on it, the date I paid it, how much I paid, and I keep them in here for my records, because y'all would be surprised how many times I've had companies say that I didn't make a payment, or I get a notification like, oh, you missed your payment, when I did pay it. There's mistakes that happen, and I don't know if it's just a common thing with me, but it has happened twice since we've lived here at this home with our electric bill, which is really odd because, I mean, if you don't pay your electric gets shut off. So it's like, what if I would have not even gotten that notification and they shut off my electric after I had already paid? You know what I mean? Like, that's a big mess up. So this is my proof, and Also, it kind of helps me as well, because there are times when I have mommy brain and I'm just in one of those moods, and it's really hard to kind of get out of those. And you think like you paid bills, or like a bill's coming up and you're like, oh, I need to pay that, but then you forget. And let's say a week passes, you get a notification saying that your bills have not been paid, or whatever it may be. And then you can go back here and see, like, did I actually pay it or did I not? I actually check this every single week. I check my binder, I check my planner, and on here I wanted to mention, I do check off when I pay each bill. I check it off along the way. And on this page, I forgot to show this. On this page, I will put, like, this is payday, so we'll pay the electric, the security, and the phone, and so on. Like, I already have it written out, so I know what bills are paying this week, and I will check these off, and sometimes I'll write confirmation numbers in here as well. It just depends on, like, what I'm paying, because some things are paper bills and then some things are electronic. So electronic bills, I usually write the confirmation numbers here, because they go to my email anyway, and I have the document there, so I don't have to really print it out and waste paper. So I'll just write it in here. And like I said, I have that on each week that he gets paid, and whenever I get paid, I also have a list of the bills that I'm supposed to pay. Not that we split our money. We don't split our money in any way. All of our money goes to the same account. It is just, I try to make every single paycheck responsible for something. But anyway, whenever you write out your bills, I always try to write out the ones that are most important first, and keep those in order, and obviously keep them in order by the date that they're due. That way you're paying those first, when you get paid. And I will add up every single expense that came out of our account, including gas station stops, fast food runs, Dunkin' Donuts, Netflix, Amazon Prime, you name it. Every single expense that comes out, I will calculate that on this list of things. And this is just to have a visual board, basically, of where our money is going and what I need to cut back on if, let's say, we start kind of getting low on money and kind of tight, like we're like, okay, we got this check now and we can only afford X amount of bills, but we need to pay more than that. And I can look at this and see, okay, well, what do I need to cut back on? Are we spending too much on, like, fun, like Netflix things, Amazon Prime, stuff like that? Or do we need to cut back on, water usage, I can't talk. Do we need to cut back on water usage or electric and things like that? So, and I'm also very good about those things too. That does save a lot of money if you are very diligent about shutting off the lights and keeping the air at like a good temperature. I usually just set ours to like 75 or 76, and I leave it at that. I don't turn it off when I leave, because all that does is make it run even harder when you do turn it back on when you come home. Plus, I have dogs at home, so I need to make sure that they are, comfortable too. They're some of my babies. So anyway, that's about it as far as like our budget. I think I did show you guys this, that I do file my bills in here, and this planner is everything. They have bigger ones too. They have the same style, but just bigger. I just personally like the fact that I could stick this in my purse if I wanted. It could fit in my glove box. I mean, it's just so compact, and you don't need a bulky, huge binder with all these like fancy little things. I know a lot of people love to do planners and like all that, but I just know me, and I'm just not going to stick to something like that. I've had a planner like that in the past, and it lasted a whole week. So this one has lasted since January. I got it in January, and I have loved it since. So that's it for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm praying for you guys who are short on money right now, especially right now. It is tough. Just do the best you can. Pray about it. You will get through it. We will all get through this, and we will come out even more grateful than we were before this all happened. Think about how blessed we have been, and we just didn't even realize it. Like the freedom we've had to just walk into any store and shop and just feel safe, and now that has all been ripped away from us. So we are going to be extremely grateful when all this is past, and maybe that was God's plan, just to give us a wake-up call. Like, things like this can happen if we don't take the necessary steps to keep them from happening. So I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing day. I really appreciate you watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, y'all.